Reverend Wright, to give you a sense, because we haven't given you any clips yet, so you can judge for yourself, we'll give you a taste of it. Instead of taking questions at the National Press Club, this is the part we were talking about, we want to just give you a sampling of it. We'll start right at the beginning, give you a sense of how it went a little bit, and I'll fill in the rest of the details for you. Here's Reverend Wright.
Have you heard the whole sermon? No, the whole sermon. Yes or no? No, you haven't heard the whole sermon? That nullifies that question. Well, let me try to respond in a non-bombastic way. If you heard the whole sermon, first of all, you heard that I was quoting the ambassador from Iraq. That's number one. But number two, to quote the Bible, be not deceived, God is not mocked. For whatsoever you sow, that you also shall. Jesus said, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. You cannot do terrorism on other people and expect it never to come back on you. Those are biblical principles, not Jeremiah Wright bombastic, divisive principles.
He's showboating a little bit here. I mean, you need to bring it down, my friend. I mean, if you're going to say
Some critics have said that your sermons are unpatriotic. How do you feel about America and about being an American?
I feel that those citizens who say that have never heard my sermons, nor do they know me. They are unfair accusations taken from sound bites and that which is looped over and over again on certain channels. I served 6 years in the military. Does that make me patriotic? How many years did Cheney serve?
See, that was his best line. There, I'm with him. I'm like, go get him, Reverend Wright. Okay, see, that's where he does the Shaq move. See, look, he's having it up now. He's having it up.
Please, I ask you to keep your comments and your applause to a minimum so that we can work in as many questions as possible.
This moderator, too.
Senator Obama has...
No shush the audience.
We're trying to ask as many questions as possible today, so if you can keep your applause to a minimum.
Something about her breaks me the wrong way,
Senator Obama has tried to explain away some of your most contentious comments and has distanced himself from you. It's clear that many people in his campaign consider you a detriment. In that context, why are you speaking out now?
On November the 5th and on January 21st, I'll still be a pastor. As I said, this is not an attack on Jeremiah Wright. It has nothing to do with Senator Obama. It is an attack on the black church launched by people who know nothing about the African-American religious tradition. And why am I speaking out now? In our community, we have something called playing the dozens. If you think I'm going to let you talk about my mama and her religious tradition and my daddy and his religious tradition and my grandpa, you got another thing coming.
I tell you, part of me likes it. It really does. You got another thing coming, son. See,
what is your relationship with Louis Farrakhan? Do you agree with and respect his views, including his most racially divisive views?
As I said on the Bill Moyers show, one of our news channels keeps playing a news clip from 20 years ago when Louis said 20 years ago that Zionism, not Judaism, was a gutter religion. And he was talking about the same thing United Nations resolutions say, the same thing now that President Carter is being vilified for and Bishop Tutu is being vilified for. And everybody wants to paint me as if I'm anti-Semitic because of what Louis Farrakhan said 20 years ago. I believe that people of all faiths have to work together in this country if we're going to build a future for our children. Whether those people are just as Michelle and Barack don't agree on everything, Raymond and I don't agree on everything, Louis and I don't agree on everything, most of you all don't agree. You get two people in the same room, you got three opinions. So what I think about him, as I said on Bill Moyers, and it got edited out, how many other African Americans or European Americans do you know that can get 1 million people together on the mall? He is one of the most important voices in the 20th and 21st century. That's what I think about him. I said, as I said on Bill Moyers, when Louis Farrakhan speaks, it's like E.F. Hutton speaks. All black America listens. Whether they agree with him or not, they listen. Now, I'm not going to put down Louis Farrakhan any more than Mandela would put down Fidel Castro. You remember that Ted Koppel show where Ted wanted Mandela to put down Castro because Castro is our enemy. And he said, you don't tell me who my enemies are. You don't tell me who my friends are. Louis Farrakhan is not my enemy. He did not put me in chains. He did not put me in slavery. And he didn't make me this color.
I got such mixed feelings about this. I can't. I mean, a part of it makes sense, and a part of it is too hamming it up.
What is your motivation for characterizing Senator Obama's response to you as, quote, what a politician had to say? What do you mean by that?
What I mean is what several of my white friends and several of my white Jewish friends have written me and said to me. They said, you're a Christian. You understand forgiveness. We both know that if Senator Obama did not say what he said, he would never get elected. Politicians say what they say and do what they do based on electability, based on sound bites, based on polls, Huffington, whoever's doing the polls. Preachers say what they say because they're pastors. They have a different person to whom they're accountable. As I said, whether he gets elected or not, I'm still going to have to be answerable to God November 5th and January 21st. That's what I mean. I do what pastors do. He does what politicians do. I am not running for office. I am open to being vice president.
All right. I'm going to end it there. We can go forever. He goes for half an hour here, and you get a sense of it.